Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom Week 35, Day 7. Of course, we finished that all the way on Monday. However, we do have one other event that's actually finishing today, and of course, if you haven't already finished it, other than Tower of Doom, we have the Lunar events finally concluding. We will be getting our Power Orb from that. But if you haven't already, it is a good idea to get 1 copy of the Crimson Armor, as well as 6 copies of the Pet, probably as the 2 highest priority ones, as we have no clue when these will come into the future. So you generally want to get 6 copies of the Pet so you have at least 1 of the golden one, which we will come back who knows when, possibly never. And the same as the armor, that's another category of thing that we pretty much never know when it's going to come back. So far, none of the armors from these events have. However, they are relatively new. They came out in October only a couple months ago, so we don't really know how that system's going to work. But yeah, definitely make sure to get 6 of the pets, 1 of the armor if you haven't already. Tuesday you could get, but of course it's not ultra high priority, as it will be obtainable in the drop table in the future. And of course we'll be going for the Power Orb, because why not? And also you get achievement for it if you haven't already done so. Anyways, let's go over all the weekly spoilers. So I will be finishing up that event, doing weekly spoilers. Obviously we already finished Tower of Doom and all that. So mostly you're just going to be finishing the event and farming some Volkies, aside from the other dailies, as we still do have the Kingdom event going on right now, as well as all of next week. So we still have to do that another several days. But anyways, let's go over the troop. So this is a new troop coming out tomorrow. It is a Magrim Woods event. As far as a Magrim Woods, pretty war gear centered location. Next kingdom is actually likely to be very focused on something like this as well. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what kind of synergies war gear might get in the future. This is on the continuation of Empowers that do a power gem. So of course, most recently from the Kingdom Pass, we actually ended up getting the spider that does that. This one right over here. It converts all brown gems to web gems being a purple gem that causes a random web onto the opposing team. Well, now we have another thing that does it. It is an Empower that converts all green gems to spirit gems. Not quite sure what color that is, or their effect, but it sounds like it does enchant, most likely. Like you probably take it from the board and you end up getting an enchant per thing. It's weird that it's green gems as spirit gems, because I almost think spirit gems are like green. It's not going to be purple or yellow, because it wouldn't feed back into itself, so that's interesting. There's potential. It really just depends what spirit gems do and what their color is. It really comes down to what are spirit gems, as that is actually a gem that currently does not exist until tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. As far as the scoring, is it straightforward? Please tell me it's straightforward. Let's see. Why is this one 10 tracks? There's no scaling, right? The battles against the in rally will drop a variable number. So it's rarity order, but always take in RE. It's rarity order, but take every Inari you see, which I believe is a new Fox theme, right? Yeah, Inari. So yes, this Inari troop is an epic, which means every single time you see this, you should always take it. But otherwise, it's rarity order. So always take Inari, rarity order the rest. It seems pretty straightforward. Just always take Inari, rarity order everything else. Perfect. Alright, so that's not an ultra confusing world event, which is good, because you know what else we have next week? Guild Wars! We got Guild Wars going on next week, so I'll be doing that every single night, well, except technically on Monday night, which we'll probably focus a little bit more on just doing the tasks, as we do have a new campaign starting. So everything that's starting next week. So, what's everything that's going down? We're going to be getting a brand new campaign. Of course, one of the 70-day campaigns going to be starting with this new power gem. Oh yeah, I just forgot about that. Duh. That's probably the power gem for next season. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's probably the power gem of all next season. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Forgot about that. Wait, is there one on the forum on that? Wait. Because I'm actually not on the forum one here. Is there a big forum thingy on it? Or are they waiting until it actually comes out? 1 second. They didn't make a big post about it. I guess they're waiting till it happens. Because those aren't the post on it. Interesting. Unless they forgot to. Or they're just waiting until it happens, I guess. They're waiting until like the literal moment it goes out in several hours from now. But anyways, yeah, we do have a new campaign, new power gem, all new everything with that. We also have Guild Wars going on next week. Next week is also the final week of the Kingdom Pass. So if you want to finish the Zolkira Kingdom Pass, last time to get that done. Faction and everything related to next week is associated to that of Magrim Woods. So we have Werewoods for Tuesday. Pet Rescue for Wednesday should just be one of the pets for the area that we already exist. Yeah, it's just a fire bonus there, which is pretty much nothing at all. It's one that's existed for a while, but if you want to get more copies of it. Thursday, we then end up having the class for it, which is the Warrens. Where is that? Or Warden, I mean, not Warrens. Warren's the faction for one, the other one. But a Warden class, Warden's pretty underwhelming. It does have one interesting combination, though. It is the only hero class in the game that has Green Storm combined with Dispel. This might not seem particularly useful, however, it is really good with Truffle. Truffle, if running it in the Underworld, is a really good combination of the two. And this Friday, we have ourselves a faction event, which should be bringing in a new faction troop. Oh yeah, that reminds me. That's something else I need to mention in the Monday video. We did finally get the previous faction troop actually available as of last Friday. In this case, we're going to be getting... actually, I'm going to show the troop through here. So the new troop that we're getting this Friday is not that one, this one. So we're getting this one for Fangmore. It inflicts Fairy Fire to an enemy and then deals 0.8... That's a weird number. Deals 0.8 damage to... Wait, what? 0.8 of its... That should be a bracket or something. I'm not sure why it isn't. But it does 4/5 of its magic to them. Boosted by bleeding enemies. Why is that so weird? Let me reread that. Inflict Fairy Fire on an enemy. Then... Oh, wait. Does the Fairy Fire actually trigger first? Because based on that wording, it does. So it Fairy Fires something. Then deals 4/5 of its magic. Boosted by bleeding enemies. At appear 3 times. That is such a confusing calculation. So first, you take 1/8 of your magic. Let's say it has 50 magic. It now does 40. So it'll do 40 damage to them. But it's boosted by Fairy Fire. Which means you'll be doing 60 damage to them. But you're also going to be doing extra damage per bleeding. So let's say you now do 69. Nice. But that 69 is not actually 69. Because that other 9 is boosted by the 50%. So you would actually do 74 in that situation. That is a lot of weird math. If I'm understanding this correctly. Because it Fairy Fires it. Does 4/5 of its magic as damage. But it does 50% more of that 4/5. And then it's also boosted at a full value of 3 per bleeding. That also gets boosted by 50%. That is some weird math. Though luckily all that just is a very complex way of saying it's very useless. But wow. What a weird ability. But it's a very useless ability. And anyways, inflicts bleed when doing skull damage. Yeah, there's nothing special. I thought that was a unique trait for a second. It's not. It's just an epic. But yeah, that's a lot of words to say very bad troop. But anyways, but that's what's coming out on Friday. One actually came in pretty recently, though. If I go over to the Warrens, this one actually came into drop table last Friday. And I will remember, hopefully to remember it to say it's for tomorrow's video. Yeah, this thing's in drop table now, Lapina Healer. So if you want to go get yourself another Lapina Healer, it is in drop table, which we can show it right here. I haven't bothered getting another one. But should be in drop table... Oh, no, that's not what I want. Go back. Should be in drop table right here. And boom, Warren Healer. And boom, Warren Healer. And boom. I know it's in drop table. It's going to be one of those situations. Remember when I tried doing it, that one video? Maybe we shouldn't try showing it in the video, gosh. How many clicks do you think it would take for us to hit the healer? There it is. Okay, it took us like 5. Should we try doing that during the video? We might be here for like 2 minutes. Luckily that wasn't too bad. Hey, we got Sacred Treasure as well. But yeah, she is indeed in drop table. But anyways, so let's start doing things. So first things first, let's go finish the event that ends. So of course, Tower of Doom, if you haven't already done it, make sure to do so. Fully finished Tower of Doom means you have finished floor 25, which means this is floor 26. The other way you can tell is if you have all the stage 12 rewards, you need both of those to be completed in order to get absolutely everything. Invasion, of course, still going on if you haven't already finished that as a guild. Oh, speaking of which, give me that orb. Useless orb, though. And of course, we still have that going on. And of course, the third thing concluding was the 2-week-long lunar event. This is for the Lunar New Year. So I'll go do... Is 3 battles enough? No, I am going to need the extra 50. Unfortunate. But we already knew that based on the other calculations. Well, let's go get a power orb. We're still using the same team. Actually, we got a random Scourge of Honor on Friday when we were doing the other event. It was pretty funny. Anyways, hello everyone, by the way. Hello, Roman. Hello, Bill. Hello, Winnie. Hello, Lester. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Anthony. Hello... I thought that was the second Anthony for a second. Hello, Logic Slayer. Let's see. Oh, you're watching the playoff? How are they doing? Hello, Jonian, because I haven't been catching it. Hello, Jason. Hello, Emanator. Hello, everyone else. Welcome. Okay, so let's go move that over. Let's go get our mana. Click the Marilith for infinite mana. So, hello, Jamie. And hello, Cookie. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Hello, everyone who didn't say hello. Welcome. I just got 5 more of these battles. Technically 4, because I don't think we actually have to do the last one. Actually, there's technically 2 battles we're not going to have to do. I really wish they would add something that you can use 50 on. I think even if you buy out every single tier, I don't even think there's still something to use 50 on. I think the cheapest thing is the pet food for 100 after you've bought out the pet food. But it's not worth it because the amount of pet food you get is like so small for what you get in return. But it's just so weird that there's not like a 50 option. Like, there's no way to spend that last little bit. And normally you just have to waste it. But hello, Mary! Welcome, welcome. Because we're going to be at like something like 67 or something. Or somewhere around there. And have nothing to use it on. But I still like it in the power orb. It's not really needed, but hey, power orb's a power orb. Well, they currently don't have much of a purpose. That doesn't mean they won't into the future. Spending a couple hundred for a power is still not that bad. Even if their value is kind of falling off. It's better than trying to make a leaderboard and spending like 5,000 on a power. Which some people have done in the past and might still be doing to this day. Because it's really not worth spending thousands when you can just wait for one of these events and spend a couple hundred. Gosh, I need some water. Yeah, decently busy week for Gems of War next week. Also, we know for sure we're not getting a patch. The beta actually just recently started. And while we are getting a patch next... oh yeah, you know what? We're also getting a Mythic next Friday. I almost forgot about that. Speaking of which, Mythic tier list, soon TM. Hope to get it out before the next Mythic. But, yeah, we also have a new Mythic on Friday. I forgot to go over that. But, actually, I don't remember if it's good or not. Actually, I'm not even sure if I've looked at it yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I can't go over the new Mythic. It's to be determined. Wait. What? There's no info on the new Mythic yet. No wonder why I haven't gone over it yet. Look at this. Yeah, new Mythic, 4 days. It is to be determined. That's probably its colors. That's obviously not its mana cost. They all default to 3. So it's a blue, yellow, purple. And that's what it looks like. That's all we know. That is the full list. Oh, it's also from Kedar, and that's it. It's also a Stalker. Or Striker. Which means it probably has decent single or double targeting damage. Almost looks like it might be like an alternative Ferris Ra. Potentially. If it's considered a Striker. Because Ferris Ra should also be a Striker based on what its ability does. So it seems like it might be slightly Ferris Ra based. Not exactly like him, but something like somewhat similar. Hello, Tyrion! Welcome, welcome. Which would be nice. We need more soul boost ratio troops. I was just mentioning that the other day. Where we really don't have good like gold soul boost ratio and all that. And for all the ones that we do, gold is definitely the better one. Definitely use some more soul boost ratio options. As the game is slightly lacking them. Like, I'm not sure why I'm doing these extra battles, but sure, why not? Is this the first dual cast Mythic? I'm not sure if this will be the first dual cast Mythic. There is a chance it could be. Which would be rather interesting. Because we're going to start to see a lot of shifting in the meta if we start seeing a lot of double casts, which seems like something that might happen. Like, I know the entire kingdom coming up in, like, the next month or so. I believe almost everything in that kingdom's, like, double casts. Interesting to see how it pans out. Double cast is something that we've been asking for ages, and they finally implemented it. The only slight issue with it is no old troops, or at least currently no old troops, are retroactively getting the change. Meaning everything that was still bad in the past that had, like, weird either-ors, or things that should have been either-ors that weren't, are still going to be bad, so... The only issue with a bunch of double casts getting added is it could invalidate a lot of older stuff if the newer stuff is just so much better. But time will tell. Because obviously they can release very bad double cast ones. Oh wait, I actually have enough to have 100 extra. Problem, there's nothing to spend 100 on! There technically is, but there also isn't. The only thing you could possibly spend 100 on is if you bought all the pet food already. There's something underneath it where you could buy like white pet food for 100. I forget what's underneath the Tradestone bundle. I don't think it was something for 100. I don't remember. But unfortunately, there's nothing I could do with 100 points in this menu. So we were stuck with 101, and they did not transfer over, so the points are just lost. But we got everything we wanted. We got our Crimson Armor, we got our Tuesday, we got our 6 pets, or, you know, the 5 to max out the first one, 1 of the golden one, And we got ourselves a major orb of chaos. Just make sure we do indeed have it. Let me just 100% confirm we do have the golden pet. As we will have to do one more just in case. But just in case. Like, there's our other golden pet. Where's the new golden pet? The Toozy. Can I just type in Toozy? Toos. Yep, there she is. Okay. Just making sure we have it. Because if we didn't, we could easily just spend 100 gems right now to go get it. But we already got it, so we're good to go. Hey, verse, what color number is that? I don't remember based on the color anymore. It has been so long. Okay, it's verse 1. It literally says it right there. It has been so long since we've had a vault event. I actually legitimately forgot which scroll this was. For a moment. It literally says it's verse 1 right there. Let's see. Bad luck to the end of stream turned into good luck on Pokemon Go. You got shiny Halo. Wait, how do you even say that? I'm never sure what that Pokemon name is, but nice. Can you go over how you spent your event points? I'm sure I can go over it real quick. But it's basically just one in every important thing. So it's 50 gems per day, 100 gem on one given day. And then, we'll explain in a second. It'll be make more sense in the menu. But generally the way that every single one of these events go, and I'm not sure what the next one is. We're definitely getting one for Easter. I'm not sure if we're getting any between now and Easter. Because I don't think we're getting one for Valentine's Day. They're doing something else for that. I don't think we're getting a special event for it. But anyways, long story short, you spend 50 gems per day, 100 gems on one of those days, which technically means 150 total. As in, you click the 50 button, you click the 100 button on one day. Every other day is 50. So you just do the 6 total battles every single day. 3 from the default 50, or extra 3 from the 50. And then what you want to buy is 1 Crimson Armor, 1 Toozy, 6 copies of the pet, 5 to get the initial pet max, 1 to get 1 copy of the golden pet, and then the power orb, which we just did right now. And doing that will allow you for 800 gems to get all of those things. A power orb, the new armor, whatever the new troop is, and both the 2 pets. The first pet is max, the second pet is just 1 copy, so you can max that at a later point, just so you have it for completion's sake. But that's all you have to do. And it costs 800 gems to do so. And you can skip on the power orb. You do need to do it at least once for the achievement. But otherwise it comes closer to like 300 gems, because you just have to throw 50 on some of the days. Exactly how many days I don't know, because I've never done it that way. I always went for the power orb. But it's only like 300 gems rather than 800 if you skip the power orb. Or maybe closer to 400, I'm not sure. I never did it that way before. The power orb does cost you like 400-ish or so gems, give or take a little. Yeah, it's best to spend the 100 gems on the very first day. Just so you get the other rewards a little bit quicker if you're doing it through that method. Because we did it on the very first Monday 2 weeks ago. You could do it on any of the days, but the earlier the better, because you just get everything else slightly earlier. And it's basically the cheapest way to get everything. Theoretically, you could actually skip on the legendary if you don't feel like you want it. Because the legendary does eventually come into your drop table. It's just slightly annoying to get after the fact. Alright, let's see. What other events do we have going on? So we finished that, we still have to worry about the Kingdom event. I guess we'll do dungeons real quick. It is Diamond Day after all. Ah, we already hit a trap. We literally just started. Double trap. Oh gosh, Death Mark trap. No, stop giving me stairs. I don't know it's stairs. We don't need stairs. What makes you think we want to bail from the final floor? Oh, so hello, Crisp. Hello, run with, what is that? Run with Cassars. Welcome, welcome. So hello, Henry. Welcome, welcome. We need Angry Mob to not die to Death Mark. It has proceeded to not die to Death Mark. Now can you do it again? Now can you do it again? Now can you do it again? Oh no, he didn't need it again. Okay, he's finally cleansed. He's free. He's finally free. Yeah, I gotta deal with good old Guild War next week. We haven't really gotten too many options since then. However, one really relevant thing about Guild War being next week is it is the first week where the new power gem will be active. Which I assume is the enchant gem. What exactly that does, we're about to find out tomorrow. But that will be the first Guild War where we can use the enchant gem. If that's good or not is to be determined. Alright, something died, but it was not relevant. Watch him get Devour here. He was thinking about it. Any chance you can go over the defense teams for us tonight? Oh, it's the same teams I've been running. I do plan on changing a couple of them, probably. A couple of them have kind of been getting dated. Actually, you know what? We'll get some really good data for our defense teams this week. So yeah, we might want to adjust a little bit more. I'll probably go over tomorrow night, because I might tweak some of my defense teams. Because we're actually Paragon next week, if I'm not mistaken. Because last Guild War, we actually went for a perfect. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a perfect that was so high, it was more perfect than all the other perfects in the guild. So I'm pretty sure we're Paragon for next week, which we haven't been for a while. We haven't been since the 100th Guild War. This will be the first one since the 100th Guild War where we'll have Paragon. Which is good for testing defend teams, because pretty much everyone has to fight you. Well, maybe not everyone, but you normally get fought like 20-something times. And before I forget, it is always worth every Sunday to throw 50 gems for this. I've always keep forgetting when it's in this new format. It's technically worth doing it every single day if you're progressing through the games and you just want to pinch more diamonds. But it is 100% always worth it every Sunday. Even if you only had 50 gems on a brand new account, it is so worthwhile that is the best way to even spend 50 gems. That is really good value. Anyways, okay, so we did that. I guess the only other thing we have to go do is get the crowns, and then we just go Volkey grinding, which was the main goal. I wanted to do about another 100 Volt keys again today, which would bring us to a nice solid 1,500, which is still a lot of keys we need to open, but brings us to a nice big number. Nice even number. Anyways, let's go get our crowns real quick. So we still have to deal with this for another week. We're only getting extra loot, but hey, might as well. It's not that bad for time invested, the loot that we get in return. Let's see, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for the Ironhawk team. Of course, we could just completely ignore them, but I actually do like doing them. It gives us an excuse to go EXP farming, if nothing else. Of which we've been slacking a little. As we haven't even hit 1,800 yet. We're getting there, though. Nothing else, at least we get extra EXP next week during Guild War, so it has some synergy. Because all the days we win Guild War, we'll also get that bonus towards our EXP. And of course, the last week, next week is the last week we'll have to do this as well. That's kind of convenient, because also a week we'll have extra EXP bonus compared to normal. Because what we're doing right now to kill these, this is actually the quickest EXP farming method in the game. Is running the Dust Devil Quick Kill. It's the quickest for quite a few things, but one of them is also EXP. Not Hero XP, but Class... Or sorry, not Class XP, but Hero XP. Basically the bigger number, not the smaller one. Not that one that goes up to 100, but the big one that goes infinitely. Because unfortunately, there's no room to put your hero class on a team like this. At that point, might as well run Rowan Quick Kill. Because they actually come out to about the same speed. I have timed it in the past. Running a Dust Devil team that uses Hero, or, you know, like an Ironhawk Dust Devil that utilizes Hero, is pretty much the exact same speed as running Rowan. Even though it plays differently, it is effectively the same rate of battle completion. Mostly because you have to double Dust Devil and you still have to give up your turn. Whereas with Leprechaun, you can actually land extra turn. The other benefit with Rowan is sometimes you can 4 times, 5 times a green or blue off the starting board, which can actually make it even quicker than running a Dust Devil with a hero on it. Because you can't do the same thing. Because if you're running double Dust Devil, you always have to give up your turn to cast. Yeah, since they just started the beta, we have at least a good 2 weeks before they do the patch. Realistically, I would assume 3 weeks from now, which would bring us to... what's next month? That would bring us to the 21st is the most likely date for the next patch. Because we know it's scheduled for next month. We know they just started the beta. And based on how long that full process normally takes, probably expect the 3rd or 4th Tuesday of next month to be the patch. Though if it is the 4th one, that would actually be literally the last day of next month, which is kind of funny. So they're cutting it pretty close if that's the case. There is actually a chance. While that is unlikely, there is a non-zero chance that the next patch is literally the very last day of next month, which means them saying that they're releasing a patch next month technically is not untrue. Though there is a non-zero chance it's quite literally the last day of next month. Which is not ideal. That is around the time they normally come. The big patch around that same time of year last year was actually mid-March. I think it was like March 12th or something. So getting it late February is actually kind of early. Though normally we have a patch in January, which never happened. And likely still won't be happening unless we're getting one this Tuesday. Because that's the only way we could still be getting a patch this month. Is if this upcoming Tuesday in 2 days is a patch. Which there could still be, like a little mini patch. I highly doubt it, though. Especially if they're already starting the beta for next patch. It's highly doubtful that there'd be a random patch like that. You only got a forging orb? Ah, unfortunate. It happens. Hopefully in our 100 keys that we're about to do soon, we'll get a bit better luck. We found 5, need another 5. And then we'll go focus on opening 100 vault keys. And also, I said it last night, we will hand out a redeem code for every single big drop we get. So of the 6%, for every single one of them, we'll hand out a code. Also hand out a code after we finish out these battles here. Forging is the good orb. Oh wait, never mind. Oh yeah, I meant the one. Yeah, you're right. Ingot is the bad one. Forging is the good one. Though forging does eventually become the bad one. Forging is good until it's bad. Like out of any new orb that came in, not counting the ingot one, it is the first one that's going to become completely useless. Its initial value is really good. Because it saves effectively hundreds of thousands of gems of what would have cost in the previous format of the game. However, you will quickly reach a point where they just do nothing. While many people are far away from that point, you will reach it within like the next year or two. Because it is one of those types of orbs where it does almost have an expiration date in a sense. Not in that it actually expires, but in the sense that you accumulate enough of them that every subsequent one just becomes useless. The main categories for upgrading those are, you want to do the full AoE ones that do Doom Skulls. Second priority are the books. Third priority are the hammers. Fourth priority are the curse breakers. Though you could interchange the hammers or curse breakers depending on if you want a certain curse breaker. As curse breakers are a weird category, in that some of the curse breaker weapons are better than the hammers, but some of the curse breaker weapons are worse than the hammers. It probably has... curse breaker is probably the only category of Doom weapon where you almost have to categorize each colored weapon as its own individual weapon. Because for pretty much every other Doom weapon, like let's say the books or the AoE ones, while some of them are slightly better than the others, they all effectively do about the same thing. But it's not the same for the curse breakers. Like, the best Curse Breaker weapon is substantially better than the worst Curse Breaker weapon. Whereas, like, the best Doom book compared to the worst Doom book are still pretty much the same thing. Just slightly different with the side effect. So, hello, Cam. Welcome, welcome. How many more orbs do we... I mean, not orbs. One more. One more little crown. Gosh, YouTube, no. They're trying to make me insert an ad into the stream. No, I shall not put extra ads. It's like doing a little pop-up like, hey, you should go put an ad in here. I refuse. I think the only time I've ever inserted an ad into a stream was if we were like taking a bathroom break mid-stream. And that literally only happens if we're doing like a super long stream. And even during most super long streams, it doesn't even happen. Like, we streamed for like 5 hours earlier and it never happened. Is it better to get, it's better to get the pet food pack. If you already own one copy of the golden pet, you don't need a second copy. Because how orbs work, they upgrade each tier if you're doing a bunch of smaller ones, or if you're doing one major one, you know, it just upgrades it completely. So there's pretty much no point in getting a single golden copy. You would get way more value from buying the pet food. How much money do I make for an ad? It would depend on the amount of viewers and everything else. Not a lot. Hitting that button would do very little. Like, it's definitely measured in the cents. If I was to click that button. Especially since people are actively watching, so it's less likely they'd even click on an ad. But you still get paid even if people don't click on it. So you do get more, I believe, if they do. Which is one of the reasons why doing it during a stream, like midway through a stream, makes like 0 sense. Like, unless YouTube is adding more automatically, I only have ads at the beginning or end of my videos. Never in between. And if there is ever any between, it's because YouTube's spitting them there. Yeah, all the ads are through AdSense. I've never done any paid promotions. And any that have offered just seem like scams. Like literal scams. Like, when crypto was at its peak, I've probably had, like, 20 different cryptos reach out to me. At least 4 of which were match 3 games, which is why they wanted me to do a thing for it. Many were willing to pay, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars, too. I never took it, though. Oh, did we ever get the other crown? Yeah, we did. I wasn't paying attention because I was talking. There we go. Oh, I like how it says new because we used all the other ones. Obviously, it's not new. Anyways, okay, let's go open a billion vault keys. Oh, yeah, I said I'd hand out a code. So, we'll hand out codes today based on every one of the good orbs we get. And what's defined as a good orb is any of the top major ones from the major orb, which are silver glory, gold glory, or major pet. The silver is 2%. The gold is, or sorry, the silver is 3%. The gold is 2%, and the pet is 1%. So 6% total. Because I don't count power as one of them. But if we get any of those 3, we'll hand out an extra code. Anyways, let's go do 100 keys and see what we can find. Oh, not with that team. Not with that team we aren't. Oh, no, never mind. Wait. Where's my, Magnesia? There we go. I'll eventually find the right team. How long until the paid Kingdom Pass troops and weapons hit the drop table? Normally it's about 6... Well, as far as the troops and everything, it's normally 6 weeks after the fact. So at that point, we can basically say mid-March or late March. So around that time. However, the weapons come in through a different system. The weapons will be available the next time a Zol Carry event rolls around. We currently do not know when the next Zol Carry event is. Yeah, the weapons will be available in the next Zol Carry event. The troops will be available in about 6 weeks or so. likely late March. These troops are about 6 weeks after the fact, and the weapons are next Zolkari event, whenever that may be. I don't think we currently know when the next Zolkari event is. Could be months from now. And the Terra card comes in whenever they announce it in-game. For whatever reason, there's one of the few that actually gets announced in-game. Whenever the Terra cards get added. And those will be in the Volky drop table when they are. Those normally take a couple months before they get added, because normally they add like 2 or 3 at a time. These they don't fall under any like particular schedule. Were any of the troops so good that they're worth paying for? In the current Kingdom Pass, no. This is one of the worst value Kingdom Passes we ever had. A lot of the repeat ones have been. Where almost nothing in it is particularly good. And you, of the one thing that was kind of good this time around, you get 1 copy of it for free, so you could just use 2 major blue orbs on it. I mean, 2 minor blues, or 1 major blue. But, yeah, the only one thing that came in this Kingdom Pass that was even, like, remotely enticing, you get a free copy of. It was the epic that converts all green to web gems, or whatever it was. Or all brown to web gems, I think it was. There we go. Got an orb. Not the orb we're looking for, though. Yeah, it does have a few resources that are considered worth it. As far as unique loot, nothing unique was worthwhile this time around. Also, so far, no good orbs. And the only new one was the ingot one, which of course does nothing. Or basically the equivalence of nothing. It's just definitively the worst orb now. I'd rather see a major green than see a major ingot one. Even the most common useless one, which is like that orange one, at least saves you Celestials. Which is a currency that isn't completely useless, whereas ingots currently have no sync. I'm actually still surprised they haven't added any. Actually, one interesting thing that could happen, if they ever add a proper ingot sync, but don't rework the Underworld loot, it would encourage you to start doing Underworld again. For people that skip it every single day like I do. So it's worth doing as you're progressing into the game. But for people who've kind of already completed Underworld, it would kind of give incentive to, because one of the bigger loots that you get from Underworld are ingots, particularly Legendary and Mythic variety. But there's nothing to use them on currently. You just keep stacking them into a pile of nothing. Which is weird, because the Underworld even has like a whole, like, get a bunch of ingots per day system. Where you constantly keep getting more and more ingots automatically per day. Which was somewhat useful when they first came out. But these days, obviously, does nothing, because there's nothing to use excess ingots on. Once you've maxed every weapon. And unlike things like souls and other material used to upgrade stuff, it doesn't really have anywhere else to be dumped. Trade stones has a pretty similar issue, though. At least Celestials have a purpose for trade stones. Who knows, maybe they'll eventually add some systems for them all. That or I'll just keep adding a billion more currencies. I wonder what 10 currencies we're getting next patch. We'll probably have a currency for a currency so we could use it on a different currency. And none of them will allow us to sync to old currencies. We're getting a lot of the event key drops today. Oh, also, that reminds me, today's the last day to go get the legend, by the way. It was kind of underwhelming, but very niche. Like, it's not useless, but it's so situational that you're almost never going to use it. But if you're still looking to get the new legend that came out this week, don't forget, you still have a few hours left. I almost forgot about that. But it's that one brown-blue troop that hits third slot and, like, drags him to the front. It's like a very weird alternative rope dart. It's nowhere near as good as rope dart. But it's very interesting, and that's an anti-third troop, which is a type of archetype of troop that doesn't really exist until it came into the game. Like, obviously, there are things that can hit third slot and deal with third slot pretty good, like Weaver, Life and Death, stuff like that. But there's never really been, like, a hard counter third slot troop before until this week. Like, one that quite actively, like, counters third slot, which is generally considered the safest spot you could ever put a troop. It'll be interesting to see if we get more of those kind of troops in the future. The biggest issue with it is it only ever hurts third, so if there's nothing there, you just hit nothing, which is very problematic. I wish it would hit third, but if there's no third, it would hit, like, the next one up or something. Speaking of Underworld, you should resume your pure faction journey. Yeah, I do advise getting all the pure factions done. Like, I skip on it just because I have it done, but I do highly advise doing daily Underworld every single day in this game. At least until the point you have pure faction done for every faction, which takes quite a while. The only reason you don't ever see us doing is because we've been done for it for years. Like, I think like a year and a half, 2 years now, we've had every pure faction done. But similar to why you never see us farming hero class XP. Like, it's something that you do as you're progressing through the game, but eventually you don't have to do anymore. Of course, we're past the point of needing to. Which, honestly, that's probably one of the most satisfying things in the entire game. Finally hitting level 100 every hero class. Because then you can start using hero classes for hero classes rather than trying to shovel one into every team just to get free class XP. Because even with the most efficient methods, it still takes like around 1,000-ish hours to max all classes. Generally even longer because you don't always use the most efficient method when grinding. Because you try to multitask it while just doing normal gameplay. It's still way lower than some MMOs, but still a very big number to max out every class. I always compare it to RuneScape, because I think Ultra RuneScape's probably around like 2,000 to 3,000 hours to 99 everything, or, you know, max level everything. So any game that's below that, I'm like, I'm happy with that. As long as the game's engaging enough. And this game is lower than that. It's a bit under 1,000 for every player class max. Hey, we got an Orb of Forging. Wait, does it not hit third? I thought I read that as third. I did not mess around with it too much. So I might have misread it when I was looking at it earlier. Let me double check. Because I could have sworn it said it hit third. Let's see. I don't remember her name. I know it was useless. Well, not useless, but very situational. Like, it's so situational that it's useless kind of ability. So I'm not sure why I did brown-blue thinking there wouldn't be that many brown-blues. There's a sizable number of brown-blues in the game. As you'd expect from any color combination. think she'd be so hidden here, though. Deal heavy splash damage to the second to last enemy. That's third slot. Second to last enemy means third slot. Second to last is third. Like, obviously, if last slot dies, then that changes. But assuming a 4 versus 4, second to last is third. So yeah, it still does what I think it does. It's just not. It's not always targeting third, but when you're starting a battle, it's hitting third. But yeah, as long as you always have a troop there, it always hits it. So it does exactly what I said, just not exactly what I said. Because it's a third slot counter, but it's only a third slot counter if there is no, or there is a fourth slot, which generally there is in most situations. Like, generally kill a team from up and work your way down, unless you have backshot hitting stuff. And generally you wouldn't use her with like a killed last slot option. But yeah, the wording is kind of weird. No, it would only do nothing. Wait, did I say that? It would only do nothing if there's only one troop left. It would still do something if there's at least 2 enemies on the team. But if there's only one troop left, because I was mentioning it like Charm, in that if there's nothing left next to it, it would do nothing. Because if there's only one troop left, there's nothing for it to hit. So it's similar to how Charm works. Though Charm can also fail when there's 2 left. But that can only fail when there's 1 left. It's basically just Charm by a different name, almost. Although the way that it targets is a bit different. It's almost like single target Charm. It's probably like the easiest way to think about it. It's almost quite literally single target Charm. Well, I keep saying third because that's what it initially hits. It's still a very weird troop for sure. But it's still a third slot counter. Because that's effectively what the ability does when you cast it at the start. It's almost like a targetable charm, in a sense. Though it still counts as spell damage, though, not as pure damage. Charm is actually one of the few really rare things in the game that does pure damage, which is a very rare damage source that there aren't too many of in the game. And by pure damage, I mean it doesn't count as skull damage nor as spell damage, so it doesn't get negated by either effect. I can't remember a full list of everything that does damage like that. Though, oddly enough, oh wait, no, that still counts as skull. Because I was going to say exploded skulls, but no, those actually still count as skull damage. But they're counted, they're in like a really weird category. Exploded skulls, or they bypass skull reduction, but they still put into consideration skull amplification, which is very weird. Like, they're like half pure damage, half not pure damage. Like, they're like pure damage that still counts as skull damage. It's like a very weird mix. Because most things that are pure damage, they don't count as skull damage or as spell damage. Like, they don't get boosted by Fairy Fire, they don't get boosted by Hunter's Mark thing. But skulls still get boosted by Hunter's Mark, but still bypass skull reduction. As well as skull dodge. But things like Charm, they don't get boosted by Fairy Fire, even though it's technically almost like spell-based damage, but it doesn't actually count as spell-based damage. Oh, so we have not gotten a single good orb tonight, which is slightly unfortunate. But we're only halfway through the keys. Still got a chance. This is probably the only day this week where we're even going to be able to open a bunch of keys. Because every single night we're going to be like piled with Guild War. Because we're going to try winning. We're going to be Paragon. We're going to try winning all the days. We're also going to adjust our defense teams a bunch. And we'll do that tomorrow night. We just have to start the campaign, so we need to go do all the campaign tasks first, though, too. Though generally they're pretty easy on week 1. Though in all fairness, they're always kind of easy. It doesn't really change much. So does anyone actually know why RimWorld hasn't been updated? I assume it's because the files just don't have the info yet. So they probably will once they have access to the beta. Which assumably the beta hasn't gone out yet then. Because they would probably have that updated info otherwise. Let's see, ingot. Because they won't have all the data until the patch actually comes out in a couple weeks. But normally they can pull some stuff from the beta. Because we don't even know what next Friday's Mythic does yet. It's coming out in like 4 days. Well, technically 5 days. Depends how you look at it. It's right around the corner. We don't even know what it does. Hey, Epic Volkey! I think that is our 4th Epic Volkeys from opening all of these keys. We're getting about 1 Epic Volkey every 1,000 Volkeys. Obviously, this is not the main way that you get Epic Volkeys. But, yeah, we're getting about 1 every 1,000 Volkeys. Pretty consistently at this point. Which is not good odds at all. But hey, it's more than 0. An Epic Volkey is basically just like 3 Volkeys tied together. For how rare they are, it's not even that special, like loot-wise. Luckily, they're a lot more common these days, most notably through Vault events, of course. I'll catch you later, Clip-Bomb. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Do we know what Monday's Glory Troop does? It converts everything, or converts all green gems to enchant gems. What do either of those two words mean? I have no clue. Or, what that one word means and what the 2 effects are, I don't know. I don't know what color it is, and I don't know what the effect is. It sounds like it's enchant, though I'm not sure what color it is. Because it'd be weird if it converted green into green, because that wouldn't be useful. It couldn't be purple or yellow, because it uses purple or yellow, and generally empowers do not feed back into themselves. Or at least not empowers like that. Like, convert empowers pretty much never, actually literally never, convert back into their own color. And if it is green, then it's super useless, because why would you ever want to convert all greens to green? Yeah, it comes out in like, what, 5 hours from now? And I should have the video up quite a bit earlier to this time around. I know it took us a little bit last week. But I have a solution. I'm heading to bed almost exactly when the stream ends. Probably like an hour after. Oh, I did not mean to change the interface. Whoop, that's also not the right one. There we go. The misclick. I wish there was a way to lock out that tab. Like, I need access to that tab, but I also need every single thing in that tab to, like, never do anything when I click it. Yes, Lapina Healer is in drop table. We actually just got it during the stream as well. Let's do 100% double confirm. I'll also be getting it in tomorrow's video, just to show it as well. But yes, Lapina Healer's been in drop table since last Friday, since 2 days ago. I'll be mentioning it in the Monday video, as it's the first Monday video since it's been re-released, or, you know, since it's been in drop table. We don't do that for every troop, but I have been doing that for the faction troops. That and tarot cards. Those are like the main two I generally mention it for. It's normally not worthwhile mentioning it for every single troop that ever comes around. Like, for example, the legend that's available right now. Like, we wouldn't mention the exact day when that one happens. I normally do for the factions as well as for tarot cards. Speaking of which, we're actually getting a new faction troop this Friday. It's not a good one, but it is a faction troop. At least gives us a star for whatever kingdom it was. I think it was Mrs. Scales. Which means it's for Fangmore. If I'm not mistaken, does that bring that to 27 star? Bring it to something high. Oh, Trippy's ready. Oh, what star level does that bring it to? That would bring Mrs. Yeah, 27. Never mind, it's already at 27. Wait, that brings it to 28. Hold up. Ooh. Ooh. Is it worth upgrading Mr. Scales? Probably not. What color do you even use? Out of curiosity. You're an armor kingdom that uses red. Interesting. It's not worth it. We could, though. But it's not worth it. But we could. Yeah, wait, what's the requirement? Let me double check, because we did it for Zolkiri. What is the requirement for 28 star? Because it actually is 28 starable. We need to get 15 gold elite levels, upgrade 14 weapons. This should be doable. Mrs. Scale, 14 weapons. We theoretically could, I just don't think it's worth it. But you could. If I'm not mistaken, that might actually be the first 28 star kingdom, unless I'm forgetting of one. Isn't it? Does anyone recall if there was another? Because I believe this Friday we get the first ever, yeah, we have enough weapons. Because we need 14, and we have, oh wait, well, you need every weapon, though. That means you would also need the money-locked weapon. Ooh. Yeah, you need every weapon. Because there's actually, oh no, you don't. Oh, yes, you do. Yeah, there's exactly 14, and you need 14 for the upgrade. Which means you would actually need the money-locked weapon. One of the few situations where that's actually been required. That is a rename code from earlier. But, I don't know. We're probably not going to bother doing that. But you could. I just don't think it's worth it. I'm just not sure where to spend all the color scrolls. Because, of course, there's a bunch of colored ones that aren't purple or green. But there's no magic kingdoms associated to them. And just out of the small chance that we might get a new kingdom that's going to be magic, that's going to be one of those colors, I'm always holding out on them. Because what if next kingdom's like red? And it's like, hey, you get a magic for using red. And then it's like, oops, I already wasted them somewhere else. It's the main reason why I haven't used any color that isn't purple or green. Actually, I haven't even spent the purples yet either. Mostly because there's so many options too, I just don't know which one I want to put it into. And the Nikisa Green Zolkiri was the only one, so it was worthwhile. But the other four colors, the only reason I hold out is literally only for the reason that a new kingdom could eventually be magic. And if it is, it's likely to not be green or purple. And if it is, then you want to use whatever that fourth color is. Or that third color. Or, you know, one of the four other colors. That happens to be that color. Is one of the first 27-star kingdoms as well. So yeah, it is one of the first 28-star then. Because I can't recall a single other thing that could be 28-starred right now. It's slightly hard to tell. Because most people don't 27-star their kingdoms. But I'm pretty sure Mrs. Scales is the first 28-star. It's definitely not worth 28-starring it. But it is possible to. For the first time ever. So we're getting closer to the 30 mark. Not quite. Still probably a year or two away before we start seeing the first ever 30s. But we're getting there. We're getting very close. So I think I'm going to go just open 4 more keys for now and save the rest for later. As I need to go to the bathroom. And for how long it's probably going to take, it is better to just end the stream. But anyways, any other questions, anyone? Oh, we're still getting an extra code, though? We are! Hey! How perfect is that? Oh, look at that. See, we still get a code. There's the second code. Let me do a few more keys, and then we're just going to call it a wrap. So any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap it there in 3 more keys. Give it to a nice number. Hey, what a lucky drop right at the end. Unfortunately, it's not the gold one. We're going a little dry on the gold ones. We keep getting the silvers, which isn't bad, but I know we really need the gold. We've gone like a couple weeks now, almost a month without getting a single gold medal. Maybe not a month, but we've gone a couple weeks now without getting a single gold. And we're starting to run low on them. I think we only have like 2, 3 left. We're running low. Running very low. Alright, final key. See if we get something special here. And there we go. Hey, we got mail. Hey, one last orb. Anything good? Ah, this is a major purple. It could have been. It tried. Oh, and there's the redeem code from earlier. Same thing as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. No, McGrim Woods is the weekly event. Mist of Scales is what we're getting on Friday. I was not referring to the weekly. Next week's weekly is McGrim Woods. I'm talking about Friday. Friday is Mist of Scales. You can see it right here. It's Fangmore. Fangmore's... Wait, is Fangmore not Mist of Scales? Wait, there's a chance Fangmore... Wait, which one is Fangmore again? Let me double check. Fangmore is definitely not McGrim Woods. Right? Am I going crazy? Yeah, Fangmore is... Oh, no, sorry. Fangmore is Kedar. Hold up. Never mind. It's not becoming... My bad. It's not Mrs. Scales. It's Kedar. My bad. I always think it's Mrs. Scales because they look like they belong in Mrs. Scales. But they actually belong in Kedar. So never mind. It's going to be 23-star Kedar. Scratch that. It's not becoming 28-star yet. Not yet. False alarm. It's Kedar becoming 23-star. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, and have a wonderful week.